Week 36. Baby is the size of a papaya, a power drill, and a throw pillow. Week 37. Baby is the size of a head of romaine lettuce, an 80s brick phone, and a lightweight kettlebell. Weeks 36 and 37. Baby is now somewhere between 18 and 20 inches and somewhere between 6 and 7 pounds. And if mama goes into labor at any point from 37 weeks on, they won't try to stop it. Baby is still finishing the important finishing touches, putting on the extra fat that he'll need once he's on the outside, as well as the finishing touches on his lungs, including surfactant, so that he will be ready to fully breathe once he is on the outside. It's important to give baby enough time to finish cooking in there. Hello everyone, it's Amanda and welcome to my last fully edited pregnancy update. I am now 37 weeks, so we are in the very end of the home stretch here, 3-ish weeks to go. It is coming fast. So I think I decided that this is probably going to be my last like full-blown update, like where I do my little introduction and everything, just because I don't know for sure like when I'm going to go into labor, and it takes me a while to edit these videos and get them all put together and everything. So I think from here on out, for 38 weeks and beyond, I think I might do weekly updates, but I will just keep them really informal. I'll still try and do, my normal belly shot, but they will probably be minimally edited and just giving you guys quick updates. Yeah, so that's kind of crazy. This is like my last full pregnancy update. Crazy. And on that same note, I also just wanted to talk about, once little Bam Bam arrives, what I'm going to be doing with my YouTube channel. And I think that I am going to take just a little bit of a break from YouTube. I don't know how long it'll be. It probably won't be too terribly long, probably not more than a month, but I think I just really want to have some time where I'm not feeling the pressure of needing to get videos up all the time, just to really focus on this new little member of our family and my other kids as well, and helping them through that transition and everything, and just really focusing on being this new little family of 5. Just so you guys know, when Bam Bam is born, I was actually thinking of doing a live stream, and if that's something you guys are interested in, give me a thumbs up. I am thinking of, I don't know if I'd do it from the hospital or shortly after when we come home or what. When I do a live stream, I don't have to do any sort of editing of any kind. So I was thinking of maybe doing that, just to announce that he's here and, show him to you guys, and maybe include some things like when Alex and Sophie meet him for the first time, that kind of thing. I might, do a couple of videos like that right around the time he's born. Then you guys will know that he's here. And then after that initial announcement that he's here, I'll probably take, a few weeks to a month off YouTube. So just so you guys know ahead of time that that's kind of what I am thinking at this point. And then after that, then I want to jump in again with 2 feet, and I have so many video ideas, you guys, so many video ideas, and I have this huge long list of all these things that I want to talk about, and a lot of that stuff has just kind of been pushed to the back burner just because I've been focusing so much on documenting this pregnancy. Once we are into this new season, I really do want to really pick up with YouTube again. So that is my plan for my channel for the next couple months. Just wanted to give you guys that heads up. So let's talk about the last 2 weeks. We're talking about weeks 36 and 37. Hallelujah, I am actually getting 2 weeks worth in one update rather than 3. So that's a good thing. You probably noticed in my last 2 videos, I put up a little mini series with 2 videos, one talking about why I am choosing the hospital route for my birth this time, and then the second one was going over my birth plan. So if you haven't seen those, I will link them here and you can check them out. If you are curious about all of my plans for my birth, my reasoning behind everything, and why I put the things in my birth plan that I put in there. I won't go into too much detail about that kind of thing in this video because you can just go over and watch those videos. But you probably noticed in those videos that I cut my hair. Here I am wearing a ponytail today. I don't know if you can see, but it is significantly shorter now. I've been debating in my mind for a couple of months now. I was trying to decide, my hair was getting so long, I was trying to decide, do I want to donate my hair to Locks of Love or Wigs for Kids, which are two organizations that make wigs for kids going through childhood cancer. And this is actually something that I've been doing for over 10 years. I've been doing it since my early 20s, like since I was right out of college. I've kind of been in this pattern of growing my hair out really, really long until I can't stand it anymore. And then I chop it all off and donate it. I always have airplane interruptions when I'm outside. So this is something that I have done periodically every 1 to 2 years since I was in my early 20s. And I was really debating this time because I did this exact same thing when I gave birth to Alex, and my hair was cut like really short then. And I was thinking, oh, you know, I was a first-time mom. I didn't know exactly what I would need for keeping my hair easy maintenance while being a mom, you know. And I was thinking, oh, the shorter the better, less maintenance, that kind of thing. But it ended up being a problem because it was so short that I could not put it back in a ponytail. And that ended up being a problem because then it was always falling in my face. I'd try to clip it back and it ended up just being too short. So I learned my lesson there that being a mom, you have to be able to put your hair back and get it off of your neck, off of your face. So I didn't want to make that mistake this time. So I was debating about that. I was like, well, if I keep it long, then I can just, you know, put it in my mom bun on top of my head, or, you know, in my big hair clip in the back. And I also just have this side of me, let's be honest guys, that's a little vain. I am 33 now. I am starting to see a few little gray hairs here and there, and I'm like, oh, you know what, I'm not going to have my hair color forever and ever. I mean, I have never dyed my hair in my life, and I always said since I was younger I'm never going to dye my hair. Maybe I'll feel differently in a few years, who knows. But I've just been kind of having this feeling like, oh, I just want to savor my natural hair color while I have it. And I was like, oh, when it's long, then it's, you know, it's just kind of like, you know, my hair is my glory kind of thing. Ultimately, I was deciding, okay, my hair is getting so long though. I'm getting so many split ends. You know, you probably saw the last haircut I did was when my husband cut my hair. I have a whole video of documenting that, so if you want to see that, I will link that here. And before that, I really hadn't had a professional haircut done in probably a year, maybe a year and a half. It was a long time. It was time. It was getting scraggly, and so I was like, okay, if I'm gonna do this, it's so long, I'm gonna have to chop off a fair amount anyway just to get all the split ends, you know. And so I was like, okay, I'm just gonna donate it this time. I've decided I'm just gonna do it. It's going to grow back. It's a renewable resource. So that's what I did. I went to my local affordable haircut place, and I got a really nice lady who worked with me, and she says that she's done this several times with her clients. She's done it herself, and she chopped it off. I told her that I still wanted to be able to wear it back in a ponytail after it was cut, and so not to layer the front too much, because, you know, then it starts falling out, you know what I mean? When it's too layered, because it doesn't all fit in a ponytail. So that's what she did, and she did a really good job. She did layer it just a little bit just to give it some texture, and I was really happy with the results. So yeah, I guess that's kind of a nesting thing that I did this last week, was chopping my hair off. Another thing that I did this week was, you probably saw in my last video that I got my belly painted as a pumpkin. And this is something, it's such a cliche thing, like having the pregnant pumpkin belly, but it was always something that I wanted to do. And I am so happy that I did it. My friend Miley, you can see all the details in that video. I have all of her information linked to if you are local and interested in having any sort of belly paint, face paint, body paint. Like, she's a professional artist. Now, when I was pregnant the first time with Alex, she painted my belly then as well, and I will put a picture of that here. She did a really good job on that one. It was a globe, and it had a little baby in the middle of it, and it had the Bible verse, "I am fearfully and wonderfully made," and I just loved how that one turned out as well. And I'm so sad now that I didn't get one done when I was pregnant with Sophie. I guess it just slipped my mind. I didn't think to do it. Just so happens this time that I am actually pregnant at the right time of year to do this, because before I was not pregnant enough to have a pumpkin belly. So anyway, I'm really glad that I did that, and you can watch that video. I have a whole time lapse of her doing the painting. It's just beautiful. Anyway, that was another like nesting thing, like wanting to document my last pregnancy kind of thing that I'm really glad that I did. This is what happens when I film with Bill watching the kids outside. Someone's a little hangry. She says, I need you, Daddy. On the bus. Well, look who's in the screen here. Who's that? Oh, I am clearly in a new setting. I thought I would finish this video inside because the kids were getting fussy. Bill is getting them dinner, and I was starting to lose light outside, and our neighbor was out. And I feel like with my neighbor sitting like right on the other side of the fence, it might be a little weird talking about like the ins and out details of pregnancy, if you know what I mean. So I'm inside now to finish this update. So now that we are through my housekeeping items, let's actually talk about my update. Weight-wise, I am so happy with it still. We are 37 weeks, and as of a couple days ago, I was at a total of 34 pounds gained. Incredible! But I'm totally happy. It's likely to just stay under 40 pounds at this point, and that was my goal. My goal for this pregnancy, 40 pounds, and I have achieved that and then some. So I am so thrilled. I am so thrilled about that. I'm now doing my midwife appointments every single week. I have them scheduled, I think, to 41 weeks, but I hopefully won't have to go that far. With my 2 previous pregnancies, I went into labor naturally with my son at 39.5 weeks. It was like 4 days shy of his due date. And I've talked a lot about my labor with my daughter. I did a castor oil induction with her for medical purposes at 38.5 weeks, I believe it was. So she was early because of the induction. So I have not yet made it to 40 weeks. There's a first time for everything, but we shall see. We'll see what happens. I have this attitude this time that this is my last pregnancy, and I really want to not be wishing the time away, even though I am so uncomfortable. But yet, even though I am just so uncomfortable right now, I'm having the hip pain, the back pain, and most of all, just the belly strain. It is getting more and more intense every day. I can't, even with my belly support, I can't stand up for longer than like 3 minutes before I have to sit down or lie down. I'm pretty sure what I'm feeling is the actual separation of the 2 sides of my abdominal muscles. It started down low and it started like moving its way up. And so I'm pretty sure that that's what I'm feeling. And now I am feeling the separation like almost up to my rib cage, you guys. So I'm going to have some work to do when this pregnancy is over to get that healed again, which I have plans for, you know, wearing my belly bandit. I'm sure I'll be talking a lot more about that in my postpartum updates. But yeah, just that strain, it has been so uncomfortable. But like I said, this is our last pregnancy. I am really trying not to wish the time away. I am trying to savor all of this movement that I am feeling, and oh, he is still the most active baby I have ever had. And so I am just savoring that movement. The kids, especially Alex, he's old enough to get it. I'm not sure if Sophie has actually felt him move because she's not patient enough to like sit there with her hand on my belly long enough, but Alex being 4.5 now, he is, and he's interested. So he'll sit there with his hand on my belly for a long period of time. And so, you know, when I feel that he's starting to be active, I say, Alex, do you want to come feel Bam Bam move? He says, yeah, and he comes over, and it's just the sweetest thing, you guys. It is the sweetest thing. And when he feels him kick on his hand, he like jumps and he gets excited. He said, I feel a Bam Bam kick, and it's just the sweetest thing. Obviously, Bill's been feeling Bam Bam moving a ton in there. My parents have felt him. My aunt felt him today, and so it's been really cool. You know, unless something surprising happens, which we will be doing everything in our power to not allow that to happen, this will be our last baby. And so this is like my last 3 weeks of being pregnant ever. And so when I think of it that way, this is such a short period of time. Yes, I am ridiculously uncomfortable, but 3 weeks out of, you know, the 20 plus years we'll be raising these kids, it's nothing, it's nothing. And Bill's like, savor the discomfort. I'm like, that's what I am doing. I'm savoring not so much the discomfort, but just having the big round belly, feeling him move in there, and just being pregnant. Just the way I am, my belly gets huge when I'm pregnant. And this time, instead of feeling self-conscious about it, like, I'm enjoying it. Like, when I look in the mirror, I'm like, look at what my body is doing. This is an incredible thing. I am loving how round I am looking. I am just really, like, I'm appreciating my body right now. Oh, I was gonna mention that with my last midwife appointment for my 37-week appointment, she told me that my group B strep culture was negative. So that is good. I really, you know, I've never been positive for it before, but you know, they say it's just a common thing that a lot of people in the population just have. Usually doesn't mean anything except for during birth. I guess it can cause damage to the eyes for baby, something like that, or can cause an infection, you know, as their face is going through. And they put you on IV antibiotics if you are positive. I was really hoping that it was negative again this time, and it was. I just really try not to take antibiotics unless it is absolutely necessary, and sometimes it is. But like I was talking about in my birth plan video, and like I said, if you haven't seen that, go on over and check it out. There's an important initial inoculation that happens when baby goes through the birth canal, where they're exposed to those really important microbes in the vaginal canal that really inoculates their immune system, and that's really important for their long-term health. When you're on IV antibiotics, then they're not going to be getting the good stuff either. It's just a lot more sterile. So I really was hoping that it would be negative, and it was. Thank you God. And so I don't have to do IV antibiotics. So just in terms of symptoms, like I said, I'm really uncomfortable right now. I already mentioned the abdominal strain. Even with my really comfortable sleeping setup, which I made a video about as well, I am, even at this point, starting to get hip pain, even with my memory foam when I'm this late in pregnancy. So I am waking up with hip pain a lot more. I'm like hobbling when I first get out of bed in the morning because it hurts to walk. And it just feels like my whole pelvis. I mean, the relaxin hormone is doing its thing because I feel it in my hips. I can feel it like in my sacrum and the sacroiliac joint, and I can feel it in my pubic symphysis, which is the ligament that holds the two sides of your pelvis together. So the lightning crotch. I'm having lightning crotch galore, you guys. It's like when I try and stand up, move positions, roll over in bed, like anytime I move my pelvis, I get that horrible zing. Yeah, so just been dealing with that, but like I said, it's just 3 more weeks. I can do this. It's nothing. And the other big uncomfortable thing that I've been experiencing is, holy Braxton Hicks Batman. I have been experiencing intense Braxton Hicks for like, I'd say, I don't know if I've even mentioned this in the other updates. I probably did. I can't remember. But they are getting more and more intense. Like, they are getting crampy now. It's not just my belly tightening. They're crampy every time I have one, and it's to the point where it's uncomfortable enough where I can't move while I'm having one. Like, if I'm walking, I have to stop walking for a second. I oftentimes have to bend over a little. But I have talked to this all over with my midwife, and since it's been happening for a month or two with the crampiness like increasing and it's still not actually doing anything. Oh, and my last one, she checked me as well, and I at that point was not dilated. She said my cervix is softening a little, so they are doing something preparing for labor, but I'm not in labor. And having had 2 natural births before, I know what it feels like when it is legit contractions. And so I know that what I'm experiencing is, even though it's uncomfortable, even to the point where I like can't move while I'm having contractions, the contractions are not like overly painful. I know what real contractions feel like, and they are like much more intense pain and they are not that bad, even though they're uncomfortable. But I've been experiencing that a lot throughout the day, and it's usually worse in the evening. Like it's consistently worse in the time after the kids go to bed until I go to bed. Those hours in there, they really pick up. And granted, another thing that I am doing right now that I should mention is that I am drinking red raspberry leaf tea every night because it helps tone your uterus. Literally, it just gives you Braxton Hicks is what my experience of it has been. And so, you know, those crampy contractions that I'm getting throughout the day, they are intensified after I drink my red raspberry leaf tea in the evening. Even though it makes it even more uncomfortable, I'm continuing to do it. I'm just having like a 1 large mug of tea every single night. Since I'm actually 37 weeks now, I can probably up it to 2 times a day now. If I really wanted to be intense, I could do 3 times a day. But I also don't want my uterus to be so toned that it happens so fast that we can't get to the hospital, you know what I mean? So I am just, you know, having a little bit of red raspberry leaf tea every day. But I have been drinking that every day, and it is definitely doing things to tone my uterus. Another fun little aside is that I've been getting bleeding gums, and I don't know if I've mentioned that in any of my other updates, but when I floss or when I brush my teeth, I'm getting like bright red blood, like bleeding gums. And I know that that's just normal, just because there's so much blood flow and hormonal stuff going on. I think that happened in my last pregnancy as well, so I'm not particularly alarmed by it. And it's not every day, it's just, you know, every few days kind of thing. So that's been happening. I am just really thankful this time that I am not retaining very much water. Thank you, God. Compared to my last pregnancy, granted, I had preeclampsia with my last pregnancy, so it makes sense that I had the edema and the swelling that I had. And I think that that contributed to my weight gain as well, just all that water weight. I've just been surprised, like, because it was even much more swollen in my first pregnancy than I am now. That's a non-symptom for me. That's unusual for me, is just having so little swelling. So that's been really nice. I mean, I am, you know, having a little bit of swelling. I am wearing, I think I discussed this, my grandmother's engagement ring from the 20s. And it's 1 size bigger than mine. And I have been wearing that most of this pregnancy. So my fingers are just a little bit swollen. My regular wedding ring doesn't fit. But it's not to the point, like, at this point in my last pregnancy, I don't even think this ring was fitting me. Yeah, so very little swelling. Like, I'm not getting it in my face like I did last time. Like, I had so much swelling in my face, my hands, my ankles, and my feet. Can we say cankles? They were just like pads of water. And I remember my mom describing the same thing happening when she was pregnant with me, and she had preeclampsia as well. So along with that, my blood pressure has been staying quite low. This pregnancy overall, you guys, compared to my other pregnancies, has been the easiest pregnancy of my life. You know, yes, I am uncomfortable now, but like that's nothing compared to the things, especially that I went through in my second pregnancy, having a hematoma, being on bed rest, getting preeclampsia, like all these complications, and just gaining so much less weight this time. So I'm just so thankful that my last pregnancy has been such a relatively easy experience overall. I should also mention like nesting. I've gotten most of the stuff done that I need to get done. We have the bassinet set up. I still need to put the newborn clothes like in the bassinet. Diapers are ready. We have the car seat ready. We just have to put it like in the car. I've been doing like logistical stuff, like planning for my placenta encapsulation, getting all of those arrangements set up for my family. You know, they've been asking if we have a registry, and there's only like you know, 5 things or something that we have to get. I want to get a runner board for our City Select stroller. If you guys are interested in seeing me do a review of our City Select stroller, I absolutely adore our stroller, and it can fit 3 kids with the runner board if the older kid is standing. I'm thinking of getting a video monitor, since eventually we're probably going to have 2 of the kids sharing a room, and I just want to be able to visually see them, that they are not attacking each other, if you know what I mean. And there's just a few other miscellaneous things. We do have to get like 1 more booster seat for the car, because Sophie is outgrowing her convertible car seat now, and I think we're gonna have to move everyone up a size in car seats. Alex can go in the booster seat, she can go in his seat. So, you know, there's just little things like that. We still have to pack our hospital bag, and when I do, I will make a video for you guys, because there were a number of you who expressed interest in that and doing like a minimalist hospital bag video, so I will try and do that. Hopefully I will be packing in the next week. That would probably be wise on my part. I am a bit of a procrastinator, if you can't tell. Oh, name. We have narrowed down our name options. It has been so hard, you guys, for us to agree on a name. It has been so hard. We have such an easier time with girl names than boy names. I know that that has been the experience of a lot of people, but yeah, I think that we have it narrowed down to a very short list now. So we are getting closer. We are getting closer with the name. I think announcing his name is a video that I will do after he is born. So when we introduce him, I probably won't say his name, just so I can make a separate video announcing just that. So I think that's everything. Like, we are ready to meet this little guy. In the meanwhile, I'm just enjoying him being on the inside, enjoying being pregnant for the last time. We're just waiting. So I will keep you guys updated, like I said, informally, and once he is here, I will probably do a live feed, and that's how you guys will know that he has arrived. Anyway, if you guys liked this last full video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And as always, if you are new here, welcome to my channel. I do videos on moderately crunchy lifestyle and parenting, and if you're interested in that kind of thing, consider subscribing and turning on the little notification bell so you can see when I post new videos. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you hopefully next week.